Bless. This is your host of the Down to Earth podcast, Shawn Myrie. Another music review straight to you. And this one is a classic from one of my favorite artists in hip hop, Snoop Doggy Dogg. His first album, Doggystyle. All hits, pure hits. I think this is one of the best put together hip hop albums of all time, hands down. From the beginning, he got the bathtub, intro, right? He's in the hot tub, and he's just telling the girl, "You just love me for my gangster shit," right? This is gangster Snoop back in the days, right? The album came out. Let me see when this album came out. It came out about 1993, November 23rd. That's when it came out, Doggystyle, right? So, second track, G-Funk. That's with Lady of Rage from the West Coast, female MCs back then. A lot of female MCs, they weren't that big, but there were a couple of them. But she's from the West Coast. She was with Death Row and with Snoop, and that G-Funk intro with Lady of Rage, lyrical. She's just giving you lyrical murderer, like you never heard of her. Yeah, Lady of Rage with Snoop on the track. That's to show you how good she is. I think she deserves more flowers being from the West, and there's not too much ladies representing the West Coast. And on that track, G-Funk intro, she gives it, right? And number 3, the classic, Gin and Juice, Laid Back, with my mind on my money, on my money, on my mind. Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre combination, they put it down. Gin and Juice, you got a video for that. That's a classic track. Every time it's played in the club, played on the radio, people know what it is. They know it's Snoop Dogg, right? Sipping on that gin and juice, laid back, right? And the smoking track too, right? 4, W Balls, the radio personality, right? DJ Salty Nuts, whatever how he calls it, right? The Queen of Funk, and Ricky Harris is on that. So, yeah. And then there's the Shiznit, good track, can't deny that. Every track on this album is a masterpiece. I don't know what else could I say. It's like a soundtrack, story, movie. That's what Snoop gives you in Doggystyle. And the Domino intro, Dominoes, giving you that atmosphere of the West Coast lifestyle. They talk. Now 7, classic, Lottie Dottie, where he gets the inspiration from Slick Rick. Lottie Dottie, we like to party, we don't cause trouble, featuring Nancy Fletcher. It's all because of you, I'm feeling sad and blue. You took my love. You see, Snoop Dogg, that track is a big standout. People know that all these tracks are mostly standing out. Like I said, this is a masterpiece. Hip-hop album from the West Coast, Snoop Dogg, Dr. Dre. A lot of Death Row artists were on this. Number 8, Murder Was the Case That They Gave Me. Murder! Featuring Daz Dillinger, right? Daz Dillinger. Death After Visualized in the Entity. I don't know why they put that in the details. Okay, that one is big. Murder Was the Case That They Gave Me, because he did have a case, a real case. Snoop had a case back in the days, and he overcame that. Now there's 9, Serial Killer. Dog Pound, RBX, and the DOC. That beat goes crazy. That beat's just like, it's going crazy. You know what I mean? Serial killer. Yo, Snoop Dogg, RBX, Dog Pound, Daz, Corrupt, they do good on this album. 10, Who Am I? What's my motherfucking name? Snoop Doggy Dogg. Snoop Doggy. Remember that video? Big, big. That's what probably made Snoop stand out. That track. Snoop Doggy Dogg. Okay. And then 11, For All My Niggas and Bitches, featuring the Dog Pound and Lady of Rage. For all my niggas and bitches, put your motherfucking hands in the air. And if we don't give a fuck, it goes something like that. With Lady of Rage, killing it. The Dog Pound Corrupt Daz, killing it. Lyrical geniuses, West Coast MCs at the finest, right? And now there's 12. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Ain't no fun. You know who that is? That's Corrupt, Nate Dogg, Warren G. Ain't no fun if the homies can't have none. Guess who's back in the motherfucking house with a fat dick for your motherfucking mouth? Hoes recognize. I was getting in my feelings. In the vibe, yo. 14, Doggy Dog World, featuring the Dog Pound and the Dramatics. Love that. Classic. Doggy Dog World, it's a doggy dog world. Right? Okay, 15, Classroom Intro, where, teachers asking a whole bunch of kids what they want to do, what they want to be when they grow up. Bowers in that intro, and Warren G, and he just say, I want to be a gangster. You get what I mean? A hustler, whatever. But yo, 16, G's Up and Hustlers. That one's good. Real motherfucking G's bounced it. Is 17. This is for my G's and this is for my hustlers. This is for my hustlers. Back to the G's. This is for my G's. Yup. You gotta check that track out. They got the intro, G's Up, Hoes Down, right? You gotta check that out. Pump Pump with Mr. Malik. I think that's the same Malik from that illegal group back in the days, right? So this whole album is a classic. It's a storyline. All of the tracks, I swear, majority of the tracks were big commercially out there in the market. People hated on this album for sure when Snoop came in because he had his own style from the West Coast. And, he came out at a time where still, the East Coast was dominant, but West Coast was taking over slowly and coming strong. So, yo, the artwork for the album, incredible, amazing, original. The artwork, the intros gives it a flavor like no other. He got some great intros before the tracks start. Production, Dr. Dre, cannot deny that. Every beat, if you're from the East Coast or the West Coast, you can listen to it. It got both, everything in it. It's hip hop. Snoop deserves more flowers for what he brought to the culture. Doggystyle, his first album, definitely a masterpiece in hip hop and should deserve more flowers for the album. He got crazy features on there, but it's all the beginnings of Death Row, right? You got Daz, you got Corrupt, you got Lady of Rage, you got RBX, you got some singers on there. Dr. Dre, Dog Pound, a whole slew of people on this and producers. yeah, Doggystyle definitely one of the top hip hop albums of all time. And yo, I think it's going in the top 5. Listen to a couple albums. This album's better than Jay-Z's first album. It's better than a lot of people's first album. Sorry, even Nas's album. It's better than Illmatic, and it's better than Reasonable Doubt. It's put together better. In my opinion, you could go listen to these albums. I have finished this review. Bless up to all of you. This was Snoop Dogg, Doggy Dog Styles album. Bless up.